Let's talk about marketing from a big picture perspective. So what is marketing? What are we actually even trying to do here? We probably have heard terms of B2B and B2C or C2C, these types of acronyms that really mean something for us. So marketing, we know these brands here in Canada. These are brands we interact with, and these are B2B brands. B2C brands, the standard brands that you as consumers go and engage with. We might deal with Intel, which is a B2C brand. A B2B brand. Where they're really just selling their product to other companies. Maybe you deal with Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, where it's a consumer selling to another consumer. Or something like West Fourth or Tourism BC, where they're really selling a destination. Maybe it's a service where you actually don't take something home. Or maybe an image or an idea, or a celebrity, or music, or art. Maybe it's to sell a movement or a public service announcement. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that we're promoting, that we're selling, that we're pricing, that we're delivering to our customers. But really what we're ultimately trying to do is value. We are trying to add value to the life of the consumer. And we can do this in 4 different ways in marketing. They're what we call the 4 Ps. Let's first talk about product, where we create value. Product is really about creating value. I mean, we can do all kinds of different things in product. It's like taking this sheet here, which let's say is made of cotton, and taking a raw material and turning it into something that has value to society, where someone could say, yeah, I want that piece of cotton. I want to make clothing from it. You create value out of that. Secondly, pricing. This is where we capture value. This is the only one of the 4 Ps where we actually get something in return. And so what we're doing here is we're pricing our product in a certain way. We get some money and they get our product. Thirdly, place. Sometimes this is also called distribution. This is where we deliver value. This is where we get the product into the hands of the consumer. We get it to them, maybe through a retail outlet, maybe it's through online delivery, something like Amazon. And lastly, promotion. The 4th of the 4 Ps. This is what we'll talk about at the end of the semester. Promotion is really all about the communication of value. It's about telling the customer this is the value you're going to get out of the product that we're going to sell you. This is why you should buy it. And we do this through things like advertising or PR or direct marketing, personal selling. There's a whole bunch of ways that we get the communication out to the consumers. This course is all about value. Everything that we talk about comes back to value. We need to understand that this is really the fundamentals, the foundation of everything that we're talking about here this semester. Successful marketing, it really needs to be mutually beneficial. It should satisfy the needs and the wants of the customers, but it also needs to adequately compensate the seller. You know, I had said earlier that I used to work in the luxury hotel business, and something we'd see all the time in the business was consumers asking for crazy things. I'll tell you a quick story here. We had a guest come into the hotel. He was wealthy, he wasn't famous, we didn't know a lot about him, and he asked to go to a restaurant called Le Crocodile, which is on Burrard and Nelson. It's a fancy, kind of old school traditional French restaurant. And he asked to have a bull and an alligator delivered to the restaurant, waiting outside the restaurant upon arrival. And when I say a bull and an alligator, I mean a cow, a full-size cow with horns, a male cow, full size, standing on the sidewalk, and also an alligator. He wanted an alligator sitting there on the sidewalk. For real, not a fake one, real live animals. Now, this is great that the customer wants that, and we can deliver that value, but we also need to be compensated. So we charge him a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars to do something like this. Concierge in the hotel starts picking up the phone and calling some of the hotel contacts. And something that is important in the luxury hotel business, especially for a brand like the Four Seasons, is we never say no. I mean, we say no to drugs, prostitutes, and guns, but anything else we do. We will do anything for our customers, and we will always find a way to make it happen. But it comes at a cost. So we did it. We delivered them. The bull and the alligator were sitting there on the sidewalk. You can go stand in front of the restaurant today if you want to and imagine them there. The guest got out of the car, walked in the restaurant, didn't look at them, didn't do anything with them. And to this day, I'm stand here trying to figure out what the heck did he want that for? Because we never knew. Maybe he lost a bet or maybe he won a bet. But he paid a lot of money to make that happen. And as a hotel brand, we were fairly compensated for that. The next point is driven by value. There needs to be a balance of benefits and costs. If I said to that guest, yeah, we'll do it, but it's going to cost you $100,000, he might say, no. There's not a balance of benefits and costs there. But for 20 grand, sure, that seems like a good deal. So that's important. And it's really about building long-term relationships. You know, when I started dating my wife, I'd say I was 19 and she was 18. So we were pretty young. She was my first and only girlfriend. I've never dated anyone before that, and as far as she is concerned, I've never dated anyone since. Now, so we've been together for a long time, and it's unique in that way. She's also had never dated anyone prior to dating myself. I guess we were both weird enough that we found each other out there. And, you know, we've been together ever since. We decided in high school that we weren't going to build relationships unless they were for the long term. We both had independently, not knowing each other, decided that if we weren't really looking to get married, what was the point of dating? And that was kind of our outlook at the time. So when we met each other, we thought, you know what, we're ready to get married soon-ish. So we started dating. I mean, we met a couple months later, we started dating, and then eventually got married 3 or 4 years later. We were pretty young when we got married. I just had graduated university. And we had decided that we were going to commit to each other forever. I mean, that's part of the wedding vows, right? You build for the long term. We're not in this relationship for at which point things get difficult. We're not in this relationship for at which point things are just not as fun as they used to be, for when the shine is removed from the relationship. Rather, we're in this for the long term. That is what the relationship was about. That's what marriage, that's the commitment you make when you get married. And that's really the same commitment we make to our customers. We want to be with them forever. We want them to be buying with us forever. And I mean, my relationship with Apple is probably as stable as my relationship with my wife. I mean, I've never bought another laptop, another tablet, or another phone. And I don't see that changing in the near future. Just like I don't see myself marrying another woman in the near future. Or the long future, I guess. So marketing in the 21st century. It's more than just about profitability. We're not in long-term relationships just because we want to make money, but we want to do this because we want to help the environment. We want to be ethical. We want to do things the way that they should be done. This is not just about making money. We need to be a global citizen. We need to be ethical in everything that we do. We're not here just to make money. We need to do things right. We need to consider what we refer to as the triple bottom line: economic, social, and environmental sustainability. This is really important to all brands. Well, at least it should be. There's been a lot of different eras in marketing, and I'm not going to talk about each one of these in specifics, but I do want to kind of comment on the era of value. Something that started, let's say in the 90s up till today, where we're really not looking on producing a bunch of products or selling as much as we can, but we're really looking at adding value to the customer's life. And we can do this in the same way that we see Levi's have done. So I'm going to show you a film, and then after the film, we'll kind of briefly talk a little bit more about this.
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If they're not Dockers, they're just pants.
I've got to run away. I've got to get away.
We must march, my darlings. We must bear the brunt of danger. We, the youthful, sinewy races, all the rest on us depend. Pioneers, oh pioneers.
So you'll see that over the years, decades and decades, Levi's has shifted. You know, it used to be kind of the man's man pants for a working man, for cowboys and construction workers, and it is still that today, but it's also trendy. Made for women, made for men, young and old. Not just from demographic perspectives, but also from a lifestyle perspective as well. And it really was about adding value to the life of the consumer. And when we look at marketing, we think, what am I going to do as a marketer? Are there any career opportunities for you? And I say to you, yes. Marketing is just not for creative people. There's lots of opportunities in marketing. It's not just about advertising and making cool videos, but there's lots of stuff you can do in market research or advertising or entrepreneurship. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm involved in marketing all the time for my companies. We can engage in branding or analytics. It's for those people who are more analytical, or for those who are more creative. There's plenty and many opportunities to be involved as an employee or as an entrepreneur in marketing.